Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne Stampin' Up. Time for another quick card. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Simcoe, Ontario. If you live in Ontario or you live in Canada even and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So today we're going to make a quick card using the Celebrate with Tags bundle, and it's in the July to December mini catalogue, which is almost over. I don't know if it'll carry over to next year or not. We never know that in advance, not much in advance. But the stamp set is beautiful. It's a good all-round set. You know, it's Christmas, it's birthday, it's let's celebrate, made with love, a nice to and a from for tags. And the dies are beautiful. The dies, you got 2 sheets of dies, you got snowflakes, you got some nice pattern there. You've got a big frame on each one that will cut out a nice tag. You got mittens, candles, balloons, hearts, a little bit of everything. Nice all-round stamp set. And it's on page 67 in the catalogue. The DSP we're going to use with this card is, this set didn't come with its own DSP, so I'm using a piece of DSP from the Sweetest Christmas set, which is on page 9 of the catalogue. We're going to use this piece here, which is the red and green stripes. It's actually this piece as well. It's lovely paper. And it's such a nice Christmas paper. It works well with a lot of different sets. So let's get started. I have a piece of Pool Party, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. It's going to be a top fold card, which means it's going to stand like that. When it's put together, it's going to stand up when it's put together. I've got a piece of Whisper White or Basic White that's 5.5 by 4 1/4, and that's the bit I'm going to stamp on and cut my parts out of. I have a piece for the front of the card, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, because I just want a little tiny border around, all the way around, and I got a piece 4 1/4 by 5 for the inside. My DSP I cut to the full 5.5 inches, which is the width of the front of the card. And that's because if I don't get it on there quite straight, I've got a little bit of wiggle room where I can, you know, twist it and trim the edges off, because it's going to fit on this piece of white card. So you see it's a little longer than this piece of card, so I can trim it if I have to. So let's get started. I think we'll take the biggest piece of paper, this piece, and we'll do the stamping on here first, because we need to stamp, we need to emboss, we need to cut some parts out. We've got a little bit of everything going on in this card today. I think the only thing we haven't got is a bow to tie today, but that's all right. Everybody needs a break from bow tying. That's funny. I need to keep that because that's going on the inside, and I need to turn it the right way right away. So we're going to stamp in real red, because that's the colour that's in the card. Now let me get this right. Oh, I also need to stamp in Pool Party. Is that Pool Party? It says Pool Party. Okay, so we're going to stamp the mittens in Pool Party, and I've already put the stamp on the block, and that's the stamp, and it's a nice stamp. It's got a little bit of pattern in the mitten. So let's see what we can do. Get it nicely inked. Yeah, and we need 2 mittens. There. What else do I need in that colour? I don't think I need anything else in that colour, but we'll keep the stamp pad handy. We've got Merry Christmas, which is going on the inside. I'm going to turn it this way and stamp Merry Christmas in real red, right in the center, I think. Yep. And then I've got to stamp a sentiment for the front, which says "Be jolly." So we'll move that out of the way. Oops. Bring this back in. And we've got this piece here. We're going to stamp "Be jolly." Lovely. Okay. So let me put that stamp pad out of the way. Excuse me. And I need to bring in the big shot for just a minute, and I'm gonna cut everything out the first time. I've got one die for a mitten, so I can cut that out. I can cut out one snowflake, and I can cut out, I think this works for the "Be jolly." Yeah. So while I've got these sitting down here, you see, I could, this is the time to tape them together if I want to, you see, with some washi tape, just a piece of washi tape, just to hold them so they don't slide. Doesn't matter where the snowflake sits, but the mitten, I want it to be right on. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape there to hold it. And my "Be jolly," I want it to be cut out nicely, so I'll tape that one down as well. Just line up my die, make sure it looks even all the way around. I think it does. Whoops, moved it. There we go, stick that down. Tape out of the way, and then we have to bring in the big shot. So I'll set it this way and you should be able to see what I'm doing. So because I'm using dies, I'm using plate, the base plate, the very thick plate, and then I've got the shim, which is plate number 2. I've got one plate number 3, and then my cardstock goes down, and then I have my next number 3 plate. And they tell you to stagger these plates as they're going through so the rollers can roll over them. Just put that like that. My next number 3 plate. Pull, I think. Make sure my snowflakes got room. So there's the first pass. And what we got out of this pass was, hopefully, whoops, one mitten, a sentiment for the front, and one snowflake. So now we got to run them through again. Put these in again. Here we should have, oh, yes, a second snowflake, and I'll just put that on a magnet, and a second mitten. And I think that should be all we need for die cutting. Okay, now the piece on the front of the card I would like to emboss, because, you know, I don't like plain pieces of cardstock. So I'm going to use this Whimsical Woodland embossing folder, and it's a 3D embossing folder, and it's on page 39 in the same July to December winter catalogue. I'm just lining up my trays. Now your embossing folder you always put in the machine with the folded part first, okay? And because I'm embossing, when I look at my base plate here, it tells me for 3D folders I only need plates 1 and 4. So I get rid of these 3 plates and I bring in number 4, which is your dark grey plate. I'll just put that like that, give them a little stagger. Whoops. Hope it goes through nicely. And that just embossed those beautiful whimsical trees on there, and you can use it whichever side you like. One side stands the trees up, the other the trees are sort of, I think it's called debossed, where the embossing goes down into the card. This side it stands up out of the card. So let me just put that down here out of the way and hope I don't fall over it. Do a little bit of clean up here to give me some room to work. Bring this back. I'll put that sheet of dies in between the other two and move it to the side. Alright, I think we're good to go to put this card together. Now, because this piece here, this pattern piece, is going to go on top of the embossed piece, I'm going to use liquid adhesive so that I have so that it gets the maximum grip. Sometimes when you just use your tape runner on something like this, because the piece behind is all bumpy, you don't get the maximum adhesive with it. So I'm going to use liquid glue on this piece, and then we'll trim it to size. Whoops. Do I want my stripes to go? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Okay, I think I'm just going to put that not in the middle of the card, but maybe half an inch from the bottom, I think. And this is where I said, if I didn't get this piece dead straight on the bottom of my card, I've got a little bit, when I turn it over, I've got a little bit at either end that I can cut off. I can trim it, and that will, you know, that means this is even with the sides of my card. So let me just give that a little extra press. There. And I'm just going to trim this, and when you're trimming, always trim from the back side and use the edge of your card as your guide. Let your scissors rest against the edge of your card, and it should just trim right off like that, and it's perfectly even there. Same with the other side. There we go. There. So that leaves that nicely even with the sides of my card. I think again I'm going to use liquid adhesive to put this down on my card, just so I get maximum adhesion, and it just sticks all over. Just making sure I've got some in my corners. And I've got, because this was 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, I've got about 1/16 of an inch all the way around, which is just a tiny little border really going around the outside. I'm just going to turn it over and move that away from the adhesive and give it a really good press down. Looking to see that I've got adhesive on all the way around. I got a little spot that was sort of lifting there, just giving it an extra press for a minute. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, so we can put this piece on the inside while we've got the board and the glue out. Again, about 1/16 of an inch. So that's that and that. We can get rid of this now. We got a couple of mittens to go on this card. We got a snowflake. I think I took a snowflake down first. I think I'll try and use a mini dimensional on this snowflake. Let's have a look. It is a little big, but I don't think anybody will really notice once I've got the gem on top. Okay, so we're going to put that about there, I think. Yeah, about there. And then we've got a couple of mittens to put on, and I think we'll put one here and one here, kind of like that. Let's have a look, maybe move this down so that we can see the gem on the snowflake. Do that and that, maybe. I think so. We'll put that on dimensionals. And then this one, we have to be careful because this one's going to lie over top of this, so we don't want a dimensional here on the bottom of the card because that would make it stand up too high. But I'm going to put it this way, or perhaps on the thumb of the card. And then we'll find another piece. We've got lots. Put that up here. Now we're going to put this one over here, I think. Like that. We've got a bee jolly, which I'm going to put on a couple of mini dimensional. Well, should I? No, I don't. Yeah, a couple of mini dimensionals, I think. Just about there. And I've got one more snowflake that I'm going to pop on a mini dimensional. And again, the dimensional is going to be a little bigger than the center of the snowflake, but I'm hoping it doesn't matter when I get a gem on top to finish it off. Let me just say, oops, it's sticking to my finger. How about we just overlap that like that? Okay. So then I found these dots in my stash, and these are called Glossy Dots Assortment. I don't know if you can still buy them or not, but I've got those, or I've got the 2021-23 in colours, and I don't know, I think I kind of like these better. Let's have a look. Let's see what we like best. Pokey tool. See, these ones, these 2021-23 in colour gems, they come, whoops, in 2 sizes. Oh, that looks nice. Yep. There. So there's today's card, everybody. Quick card. I can't say this is my design. It's not my design. I saw this design on Pinterest while I was looking for cards, and I just thought, well, I'll try and make it on the fly. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the card I saw on Pinterest. I used the Christmas tree, the, what was it, whimsical trees in the background. But I do like that. That's a nice card. That's a quick card and a nice card. So, as always, everybody, if you use the Stampin' Up, if you sell your cards, use the Stampin' Up Angel stamp on the back, which just says all your supplies used were Stampin' Up supplies. And have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.